Hey YouTube, it's Luke at Sketchy Bikes. Got the motor out of the CB750 and now I need to start taking it down. So gonna take the valve cover off, get the heads off, then get the jugs off. Not gonna get into the bottom end really on this. Bike runs fine. I'm gonna replace some of the gaskets on the side covers, but I'm not gonna split the cases. I don't think there's any reason to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this and kind of take you through it as I take it apart. It's not really a how-to video. I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm doing, and you know, maybe if you have a bike that's in similar condition, you could use this as a little bit of a guide. Let me get the camera here and I'm going to show, after I've cleaned up this motor, what we're looking at. So here's the motor. You can see there's still some discoloration on the fins. I used a combination of Dawn dish soap and Totally Awesome. We are going to have to fix some of these bolt holes that are not correct, where someone inserted the wrong size bolts. Use standard bolts, which I think is, you can almost see them. This one, that one, I think this one up here. You can see the oil leakage between the head and the top of the cylinders. And you can see on here, let's see, right here, if you look after I clean this, there's a good bit of silicone coming off of here. So there's supposed to be a gasket in between the valve cover and the head. Here's more silicone you can see up here. Just silicone boogers, a lot of them. Look at that, stretching off there. There's more silicone there. I have reason to believe that the gasket wasn't installed right on the head. That's where a lot of the leaking is happening. And then that's running down onto the bottom side of the motor. Also on the bottom side of the motor, may be difficult to see, but I'm going to take the oil pan off. Probably going to take a look at the oil pump too. So on the bottom side there was a lot of leaking on there. I'm sure the gasket was not installed correctly on there. Then on the side covers you could see there's evidence of silicone around there. So this bike, I think I mentioned it a couple times, it runs really, really good. So I don't have a mechanical problem. I have a leaky motor. And I'm tired of having a leaky motor. So basically I'm going to take it apart, clean it up, gasket it the correct way, torque everything the correct way, and continue to go ahead and ride this bike. So I'll get to this, show you guys what I do. Okay. I'm going to start taking the valve cover off of this motor. I got the camera set up above, so I'm squatting down here just to give this a little bit of an introduction. But basically, there's a bunch of JIS screws. Make sure you're using a JIS screwdriver. These vessel screwdrivers are awesome. This is an impact driver as well. You can take your hammer and smack it, and it'll give it a couple degrees of twist. So if you have a stuck bolt on any of these Japanese motorcycles, you absolutely want to be using JIS tools to take them apart. They are not actually Phillips heads, although they look like it. The other item I'm going to do, I have a piece of cardboard here. I'm going to sketch out the top of this valve cover, and I'm going to put all the locations where the Phillips screws are. Phillips, see, I said it. JIS screws are, so I have a reference. I'm probably going to buy a stainless steel Allen bolt kit to put on this motor. When I reassemble it, it'll look nicer, a little more functionality as far as taking things apart. So, but I do want to be able to reference the original hardware. So I'm going to sketch this up, take these bolts off, and we'll see what's under the valve cover. So what I'm going to do is just basically draw this. I'll put an F here. That's the front of the bike. And we will draw my artist rendition of this valve cover. Straight across here. Cylinders 3 and 4. Come up. Cylinders 3 and 4, cylinders 1 and 2. In the middle, we have where the timing chain comes up. So we have called a rectangle here. And then I have one there, 1, 2 here. I know there's 2 under the cover there. Then I'll just start on this corner. I have 1, 2, 3. This is a 4th one that goes down through. That's a 5th one. We have 6, 7, 8. Let's see here. One over here, 9. Get right on that crease. 10, 11, 12. And then the timing chain cover, 13, 14, 15, and 16 here. So 16 different screws. So now that we have that sketched out, I reference where the front of the bike is. I'm gonna take a punch or I'm just gonna take a pick. I'm gonna make some holes in here so I could insert all the bolts, screws. This doesn't have to be exact, but I don't know. I kind of like doing this when I work on things that way. You know, all the stuff you took out is the same size going back in. There are various size screws on this valve cover, and if you were to check, I'm sure you could tell by reassembly, you know, if you were to set them in there, the short ones obviously are going to be quite a bit shorter than the long ones. So now you have a piece of cardboard, all the holes in it, you reference the front of the bike. I'm going to go through, pop these out, and we'll insert them as we go along. So I'll just keep my card here, and I'm going to start the timing cover. Sorry if the camera's rocking there. I didn't realize I'm standing on a piece of cardboard I put under here. So off to a good start. All right, broke that one loose. This one's hand tight. Broke that one loose. There you go. I'm gonna move this back a little bit off that piece of cardboard so you can kind of see what's going on a little better. So and this way, once you have your card to reference, as you take them out, just stick them in. One. Yeah, these are pretty dirty. Lots of silicone around there. Someone got a little crazy with the Cheese Whiz. It's a Beck reference for anyone from the 90s. Man. All right. Look at that. All kinds of silicone boogers on there. So we'll get all these pieces cleaned up. Just gonna set them off to the side for now. And you can see that revealed these two in the middle here. So as we happen to be looking at these two, I'm going to actually get them out. Free, kind of nice. And if you make your holes small enough, you don't have to worry about losing these screws or tossing them if you knock your card over. Those are out. And then now I think I'm going to crisscross just because, I don't know, it doesn't say to do that anywhere that I've read. This one I don't even have to hit, but I just like the idea of untensioning things equally in a pattern. I'm a drummer, so it's like tightening a drum head, putting a wheel on a car. I always like adding and releasing torque on things in a pattern. Man, I'm not even having to hit these with the impact. I have a feeling the silicone is going to have this valve cover glued. That guy's a little tight. I'll give that a whack. Yeah, it screws a little goobered up. Got it. Boy, that one, I'm just going to take that one out, because I do not like that screw. Look at that. Some silicone on there, a lot of powder. And the head of that, I don't know if the camera could pick it up, but that thing was boogered up pretty bad. So let's see. This is, we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is going right here. Alright, let's see, so where was I? That guy, come opposite, loose, loose, loose. Alright, we'll go opposite here, loose. I think we need to get this one. This one's tight as well. Right, loose, loose, loose. Loose. All right. All right, they are all loosened, so should have any tension off of there. I'm just going to go around and basically fill my card. 1. 2. A lot of oil on these. You could tell this was a leaky motor. More silicone on the bottom of that screw. That one was nice, bone dry. Another one that's dry. And coincidentally, this side of the motor wasn't really a leaky side. It was more on the other side, so a little bit of stuff on there. Oop. See, I almost messed up. This one goes here, and just because of where I'm standing, I missed one. So, come out, and we'll just finish going around. There. Here. Here. I got 2 left, and I got 2 holes, so my artwork crossed over to my mechanical work, so that's always a good thing. Alright, last and final. So when you're done, if you do this right, you end up with a nice card that has all your bolts in the correct orientation. So I'm going to move that off to the side. And we got to see, oh, look at that. All right, that's good. I thought this thing was going to be glued down with silicone. Let's take it up. First time seeing in here. Okay, what have we here? So it appears we do have a gasket. That's good. But I don't know if you can see, there's lots of silicone on the inside and around the outside. So this is your tachometer drive. This goes to the tach cable. At first glance, doesn't look too bad under here. So this will all get totally cleaned up. Get the gasket removed. That'll be new. Set that down here out of the way. And having a peek in here. Let's take a look. Take the camera off. So looking at the motor. See how things look. Not too bad. All the rockers, the valves. Once we get the head off, we'll take a look at the underside and see what the valves look like. But, I mean, that's got a little bit of oil setting in there, a little thick buildup in some of these valleys. So, you can see in here as well. But all in all, I don't see anything overly alarming. From what I could see on some of the cam lobes, everything looks okay for now. So I'm going to stop at this because we'll have to come back and set the engine in the right timing before we remove the cams and some of that stuff and go any further with this. So that'll be it for taking the valve cover off, and when we come back we'll get to the doing the head. So thanks for watching. Follow along, keep up on this build. And we'll keep going at it. Hopefully we could get it back together quickly and get this bike back on the road. Thanks.